Hello, we are STEMtronics. My name is Justin,
My name is Olaolu.
and here is our lesson plan pitch.
Yeah, so the purpose of our project, the purpose of STEMtronics is really how do we get students to go from a theoretical point of view about some concepts in classes like physics to an actual practical real world lens as to how these concepts are really applied in the real world. Now specifically, we're going to do this by introducing students to the world of electronics. In special, we're going to do this by introducing them to coding and circuitry.
So our entire lesson plan structure works on a 3 small lesson, one final project basis. So with the 3 small lessons are going to be 30 minutes each, and we'll talk about the breakdown, and then finally a 2-hour final project where they're going to take all their knowledge and put it into one big project.
So now let's look into the 3 big lessons. Firstly, the students are going to be introduced to circuitry and electronics as a whole. They're going to be tasked to build a simple circuit that when they press a button, it turns on an LED or a bulb. Next, students will be exposed to the use of sensors in the second lesson. In this project, we're going to task the students to build their own night lights. The goal behind this is that they're going to use a photoresistor, which is a light-sensitive sensor. Essentially, they're going to be able to use this sensor to turn on a light if it's dark and turn off the light if it's bright. And the third project is going to teach students how to work with devices like actuators. One example is an LCD, a liquid crystal display, which when sent information displays text on a screen. Specifically, we're also going to help students understand how to connect a temperature sensor to this LCD, and in the end, be able to have a good grasp of how sensors and actuators work at the same time.
So for the structure of the mini projects, we're going to start off by having the instructor prepare by reading the lesson plan and familiarizing themselves with the different links and sources that we use. For example, we have the Arduino IDE and Tinkercad as 2 resources that are going to be necessary to develop these projects.
We also recommend highly that the lecturer, whoever is doing the presentation, does take some time to prepare with the lesson plan, specifically trying to build the circuits, build the schematic, and then write the code as well. That way, they are as resource ready as possible.
So once the lesson starts, the students are going to start with a 5 to 10 minute presentation, which is going to give them all of the resources they need to be able to create the projects, all of the background information necessary.
Afterwards, we're going to let the students have 20 to maybe 30 minutes to really just explore for that lesson on their own. They're going to have the time to really tinker with the electronics and try to build the circuits from start to finish.
Projects are also going to include a go further part. So if the students finish early because they're already familiar with the subject, or maybe they just want to work on it in their own time after the class ends, then we'll have extra options for them to pursue further options with these smaller projects.
And afterwards, each lesson will conclude with an exit ticket. The purpose of this exit ticket is for us to understand where the students are at the end of the lesson. It's going to help us gauge whether or not we were able to meet our learning goals for that specific lesson.
And now for the longer 2-hour final project structure. So for these, the students are going to be tasked with creating an automatic plant waterer. So with this, they're going to use all of the information, all the knowledge and skills they've learned throughout the 3 smaller lessons and apply them to this one larger project.
Afterwards, we're going to let the students have some time just to work on their own. And specifically, this instructor is not going to provide as much support unless asked. The students really will take on the initiative to ensure that they are able to work from start to finish using all the skills and all the resources that they've developed from the mini projects. The purpose behind this is that we're trying to promote independent thinking and resourcefulness in our students.
And lastly, like with the smaller projects, we're going to encourage students to continue learning on their own by pursuing further skills with the Arduino project book, and other related electronic topics. We're hoping that with this, they're going to further explore other projects that will deepen their interest in electronics and STEM as a whole. Thank you.